Hey, I spent a lot of time playing Gacha Games in 2023, so let's talk about it. Okay, to start off, let's just cut down the list of what I'm talking about a little bit. So that one's trash, that one's trash, that one's trash, that one's trash, that one's not even a Gacha game. That one's trash, that one's trash, that one's trash, that one's trash, that one I haven't played enough. And that one just came out. So, oh, look at that. We have 10. Funny coincidence. Let's just do a top 10 countdown. Let's go. Starting off at number 10, we have Nier Reincarnation. It is a command action RPG, which is basically just stand-in for put it on auto and leave it. And it's for mobile devices. Mobile exclusive, you can't get it on PC unless you use an emulator. Personally, I just play it on my phone. And it's from Square Enix and Applebot. Released in 2021. Now, why am I talking about this in 2023 if it was released in 2021? Well, 2023 is when I started playing it, because they released 2B into the game. And any game that 2B is in, I play the game. I don't care what game it is, I will play any game that has 2B in it and that is relatively good. But turns out, the story and the art direction and stuff like that for the game are incredibly good. I mean, Yoko Taro is the creative director, so you can sort of expect that, but it's surprisingly good for a gacha. I'm not used to going into a random gacha of another game and then it actually being fun. And this one is. Which is not something I can say for basically any gacha based off an anime or anything else, really. Any gachas that are based off other IPs usually suck, but this one is pretty good. I recommend giving it a try. Next up at number 9, we have Reverse 1999. Basically, it's a card-based, turn-based, tactical RPG sort of game. And it is developed by Bluepock. It came out near the end of last year, and it's been a bit of a blast. It's been a lot of fun. Mainly the story is the main thing you play for. I don't think the game has really in-depth systems to the point where you want to constantly play it every single day. But one thing that you do want to come back for is when they have new story and stuff. The story is really good and really emotional at times. And there was a gay kiss scene, to my knowledge. I haven't got to that point. I'm working on it. Okay, enough about gay kiss scenes. Let's talk about Honkai Impact. Oh, wait. Okay, let's talk about the game, shall we? So, Honkai Impact is an action RPG, and I have been playing it a lot in the past year. As you can tell, I am not only picking games from 2023, I did play Honkai Impact in 2022 as well, but since I played it so much, I'm going to put it on here anyway. And they released the final chapter of the first arc of the main story, which wraps up Kiana's story, and that was a pretty big thing, so I'm going to include it at number 8. It also has a very enjoyable combat system, apart from the story, and overall is just fun to play. Talking about games with a fun combat system, let's talk about PGR, or Punishing Grey Raven. Punishing Grey Raven has the best combat system in any gacha game. and I just tried it out for the first time last year. It is amazing. Just to explain that, I'll just put a clip of the game up on screen right now. You see all that? It's pretty good, isn't it? Yep. With all that said, well, with not much said, just some gameplay. That's why I love Punishing Grey Raven. And that's why I put it at number 7. Moving on to the next one. Next up at number 6, we have Brown Dust 2. Brown Dust 2 was honestly one of the nicest surprises of 2023 for me. I thought I wouldn't find a gacha game where I feel absolutely no need to spend any money at all whatsoever, because not only can I get basically every character, well, every character I want anyway, not only that, but the game, it can be played completely without using the gacha at all. You don't even need to go to that menu. That menu is separate for me. I don't even care about the gacha because I can just play the game however I want. The game is basically completely built so you don't really need to use the gacha system if you're just doing PvE stuff. If you're there for the PvP, then it's pay to win. But if you're just there for the PvE like me, it doesn't really matter. Another great thing about Brown Dust 2, or BD2, is the story. The story is sort of like a classic fantasy in a way, with some extra added touches, I guess. And it's a really good story. Everything so far is just amazing. And the art style as well. I love the art direction. I am absolutely in love with this game at the moment, and I only started it like a month and a bit ago, so I'm not too experienced with the game, but it's been a lot of fun, so I recommend checking it out. Okay, for number 5, we have Counterside. Counterside is one of my favorite games at the moment, and it's for good reason, which is I can get every single waifu I want and I don't need to spend a cent. And it is great. I think that's one of the reasons Counterside doesn't make as much money as well, because you can literally get every character without spending money if you play enough. I mean, and you're somewhat lucky. You don't have to be too lucky, but as long as you're somewhat lucky, you will probably get the characters you want. And that is a great thing about the game. But that's not all, folks. It's also an auto game, so I can just play it while I'm on my way to work or whatever. And that's not all either. The story is great. The story is just amazing. I don't know, it's one of my favorite stories in gacha games, and it's a little weird because I don't think everyone will enjoy the story as much as I do, but I don't know, in my opinion, it is at least in my top 3 stories in gacha games. I love all of the characters, I love everything that's going on in the world, and I love the interesting sort of original takes on the fantasy genre and the sci-fi aspects. It's very original to me, and I like it a lot. Number 4.
Burger King foot lettuce. The last thing you'd want in your Burger King burger is someone's foot fungus, but as it turns out, that might be what you get.
Oh, I am so sorry. I had to go with that one. I had to include the meme. It is so dead, but it is still so funny to me. Anyway, number 4 is actually Tower Fantasy. Tower Fantasy is an open world MMO RPG gacha game, and despite it being kinda trash, it's also junk food to me. I love Tower Fantasy, and I have fun playing it every single day, and have about, I'm going to be honest, I have 2,000 hours on record. It is bad. I have an addiction. But it is a ton of fun at the same time, and that's why I'm including it at number 4 on this list. Okay, and we're into the top 3. And to kick it off, we have Genshin Impact. Everyone knew this was going to be on the list of the games I played in 2023, and everyone knew this was going to be in the top 3. But I'm putting it at the bottom of the top 3, because even though I enjoy Genshin Impact a lot, it's been like 3 years now since it launched, and I've been playing it for 3 years. It's gone a bit stale, I'm going to be honest, but I think for a lot of people, the hundreds of hours you can get out of Genshin Impact is going to be a blast. So I'm going to put it here, even though I don't enjoy it as much anymore. But I will say, one thing I did enjoy, Furina is the best. Best character in Genshin Impact. They did it, boys. They released the best character. Let's go. Okay, for number 2, we have, drum roll please. Can I get high quality sound effects? Okay, we have the best game of 2023. Honkai Star Rail. Honkai Star Rail was honestly the best surprise of 2023 because it is so much fun. The characters are so well designed, and at least the Eurilo 6 story was amazing. I loved that story. It was so good. I loved it so much. It was so cool. And after that, the story got a little bit worse, but I think they're going to bring it back in 2024. So just go wait a little while. But yeah, it was such a good game when it came out. And the only reason it didn't make number 1 is because in 2023, I played Nikke, Goddess of Victory. Nikke was probably the best gacha game I played in 2023. I absolutely love that game now. I started playing it when 2B came out, just because 2B's in the game. If 2B's in the game, I play it. And ever since, I haven't stopped playing it. It's become my daily game. It's the game I just play when I want to chill out and have some fun. Nikke is the best gacha game, in my opinion, at the moment. And yes, it is a bit of a degen game, but the story is extremely good. The shooting is fun, and everything overall in the game is just a lot of fun. And there's the devs who actually listen. They listen to the player base. This is something you don't really see from Hoyoverse. You don't really see from really many other companies at all. You don't see them taking the feedback and then going, okay, here's a change. Here's a change. Here's a change. People were upset about Red Hood's release, even though Red Hood was a good character. And Red Hood was a really cool character as well. People were a bit dissatisfied that she wasn't the best character in the game, and they wanted a buff for Red Hood so she would do some of the most damage in the game. So then Shift Up came back and they were just like, oh, you want that change? Here you go. Here's the best character in the game. It's not too broken, but It is extremely good. And that is the type of company I like to see making a gacha game, because they listen. And not only that, they have 4% rates as well, which is higher than, I don't know, 99% of gacha games out there. It is an amazing game. And kudos to Shift Up for making such a cool game and such a nice, inclusive community. I've talked with some of the other creators and some of the community, and they're all just welcoming. They're very nice. So, yeah, check out Nikke if you haven't. It may be a degen game, but it's a good degen game. With all that said, thanks for watching. I didn't know how to bring in 2024. It was very hard to decide what video to make next after my last video, because I got so much support on my last video. It was hard to decide what do I make next. So I decided to make this a little bit more of a casual video and just talk about some of my favorite games, you know? So I hope you all enjoyed it. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, whatever I make. See ya.
Seems like it crept out of nowhere.